I am hit with a flood of bullish energy right now. Welcome to Discover Crypto in the Blockchain Basement. We're diving deep into more altcoin, massive news for altcoins right now. Plus, 401ks getting access to crypto. On top of that, Chainlink coming out with reserves plan. Very bullish for Chainlink. And there's interest rate cuts in the UK. There is so much going on that is excellent ground for us to pump these bags to the moon. Welcome to the show, everybody. Smash a like on your way in and share the stream out. I got my man Isaac on the sticks here.
Yeah. What's up? The lights are on today.
In the darkness. Look at you.
I'm not in the dark today, no.
You've come to the light. How are you doing,
I've come
Isaac?
to the light. I'm doing pretty good. How you doing today, Drew?
Besides you know what?
Flood of bullish, just the bullishness in general.
Yeah, I got a flood of bullish energy. Honestly, I acted on that long call from yesterday. Made a major move in terms of the trading bag made a major move. Okay. Did the whole bag, gained about 40%, I think like 35-40% on it. Really felt good. I just got scam wicked out right before we went live, of course, by this ridiculous market, but it is what it is. The bag continues to grow, cleaning out profits of it along the way. Bitcoin being a little squirrely right now for a lot of different reasons. So you remember the $113,600 zone from yesterday. Took action on that. Was able to get in and added to it at 114.5. I did just get scam wicked out though. Scam wick down to the downside. This is on the 15-minute candles. We've had a lot of bullish energy right now. Bitcoin's chart is now in what used to be our support in this range that we all remember so well, now turned resistance. We did blast through the lower level of resistance earlier this morning with all of the bullish news. Now the bulls and the bears battle it out in this current current resistance box, previous support box, to see if we can get that next major leg up. But man, I'll tell you, Isaac, something's got me real excited. It's not the Bitcoin chart, it's the Ethereum chart. Ethereum is sitting at that downward trend line right now. We've been, operating off of this downward trend line on Ethereum for quite some time. I know a lot of people in the Discord got in some really good ETH scalp short positions from $3,862, literally the Pico top of this local range here. So we're going to see if Bitcoin is now going to calm down, and if Ethereum will have to take a back seat, get back under that $3,860 level. Very interesting times. I got to give a shout out to the chat here. I'm going to pull you guys up and make sure I got you right in front of my face as far as the chat goes. I got a wonderful community making some big moves. I've seen some major gains being made by the traders in our Discord, by everyone involved with the DeFi portion of our Discord. And huge shout out to DeFi Crypto and Airdrops, Veteran Crypto, and Jeff over there for their tireless hard work that they do for people, getting them in the know and into actual DeFi pools. Still something I need to do, but I keep up to date with trading, the news, and now DeFi. My plate's going to get real full here. But if you can, give us some love here. Follow us on X. I'm at Druth Crypto on Twitter. And then also subscribe to Blockchain Basement, our channel here, where we released a Chainlink video that exposes the real giga bullish undertone that's going on with Chainlink right now. Go ahead and give us some love on Blockchain Basement on YouTube. Make sure to get after it. The charts, the markets, they've gotten some love this morning, especially altcoins. Bitcoin's only up by 0.9%, but a lot of action is coming to big DeFi plays. Mantle, Pendle, Conflux cooked into the RWA sector, and then Chainlink, my boy, Chainlink coming up to $18, up 7.9% on the week. Absolutely loving it. Probably riding off the heels of the major Chainlink reserves announcements. But I'll talk in greater detail and really go into, what the price action of Chainlink has potential of doing in this video. If you want the regulatory framework that why I remain so damn bullish on Chainlink, make sure to go like this video, check it out. As you can tell, when you go to the Blockchain Basement, I am what they would call Chainlink maximalish, right? I still love Bitcoin above all crypto projects, but Chainlink has that number 2 spot in my heart. Now, we got to take a look at the landscape here. This is always fun to see, just a sea of green. XMR down, Monero down just a touch, but honestly, Monero, we should probably look at this chart on Monero. Been very, very good performer. We have Mantle in the dark green, SWE with a nice uptick up to $3.66. Obviously, Chainlink, as I just spoke, and then Ondo, major news for Ondo as well. So very, very good. A lot of green. You love to wake up and see a sea of green. It feels good, man. And now SPX had an interesting reaction to all the bullish news that we had. It's dumped. So we started off very, very good this morning on the SPX. Has not gone so great ever since then. We are dumping back down. It's kind of funny to see the SPX still kind of in control of the crypto markets. We have extremely bullish news for crypto markets. SPX wants to take a haircut, so we'll it doesn't really give Bitcoin a haircut, but it gives us kind of a less juice in our tank to be able to punch through this resistance zone. You know, if we didn't see the SPX falling back like this and kind of hesitating, I'm of the opinion we'd be now messing around in this previous channel of 117 up to $120,000 on Bitcoin. I think it's just a matter of time. Bitcoin, I feel like, is still better upside for me personally than traditional Wall Street plays. But you know what? I told everyone about, did I tell you, Isaac, at the wedding, I tested out this product. Shot. Yes, shot. This is on traditional markets. It's like a micro cap play. I'm up like 140% from that buy, Isaac. And you know what? I was able to drink 25 drinks, about 20 shots and 5 beers at a wedding I don't even drink. And I woke up with no headache, no hangover, no mess. Okay. So I'm kind of interested in this thing. It's supposed to actively lower your blood alcohol content level. And I mean, it's making money for me on the charts. It's basically like a meme coin. Look at this chart. This is total. This looks like ICP or Algorand or something. But the money flows to the downside, 2 thick green dots on the weekly. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. Unintended. So, and I actually do. Let me know in the chat if you guys are interested in some of the more kind of outside the box Wall Street picks that I've been paying attention to. Let me know in the chat if you want me to go over those. I have actually a little bit of a handful of them right now. So we got to get into all the news though. There's so much to cover on today's show. My God. Okay. I'm just going to kind of have to take this one at a time so my computer doesn't get overloaded with the bullishness that's going on right now. And it's at risk. It's a good computer. I got about 100 tabs in front of me. President Trump to sign an executive order to allow 401ks to invest into Bitcoin. Now, what does this mean? How much money would come? This is a good synopsis. So Trump dropping this executive order. It's a pretty big deal. What this opens up is retirement accounts to invest into crypto. The game could change from this. It's just a slight write-up on this. This could open up $12.5 trillion, a floodgate being opened of these contribution funds. Now, this is part of a larger market of $43.4 trillion, the retirement market empire is right now. Imagine if even 1 to 5% of this new market opening up to crypto, this could end up flooding $625 billion into crypto market caps. Very, very aggressive move. I think this would cause, you know what the crazier part about this, Isaac, is that I really feel like people in retirements, they're going to open, wow, okay, I can invest in crypto now. They're going to go through the top 10. They're not going to look at tokenomics. They're not going to look at all these metrics that we use here in crypto. They're going to go off of Bitcoin's good. It's obviously here to stay, but it is currently $120,000, right? So this is what people are going to wake up to. They're going to be like, okay, I can invest my 401k, Bitcoin, 120, 130, 100, whatever it is. Not kind of expensive. Ethereum, next in line. All right, still kind of in the thousands. XRP, they're going to see XRP at $3. There is no denying XRP is going to pump off this. Neck breathers are going to buy XRP because it's only $3 and it's the third best out there. That's the baseline, simple thought process that we have to accept within ourselves. I know XRP is centralized garbage. It's still going to pump like hell. It's going to pump. It's going to pump. It is what it is. Is that actually Hello Labs?
I have no idea. I feel like someone might just be trolling me.
I think they might
Or
trolling
actually
you in
Hello
the chat.
Labs.
But this is how it works, folks. Like, we have to understand that this is $12.5 trillion of retirement accounts of many people that likely have nothing to do with crypto yet. Very small amount of people are in crypto in aggregate. Now, what I see though is the top 10, top 20 in crypto market caps are going to really, really be affected by ETFs and by these investment funds finally getting that exposure. So I think TJ had a good post about it. How many people, and I want to ask you guys, how many people do you think will be adding Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, or ADA to their 401k? I feel like Bitcoin's, I would lean towards more Bitcoin than any of these other altcoins being added through these 401k avenues. But do you agree with me? Is XRP the lowest hanging fruit that makes sense for them? There's something about the number 3. There's something about the fact that it's only a few dollars. They go down to BNB. BNB is almost $1,000. Solana, $160. What's this one that's only $3 right now? That's just where my mind. What?
That's the actual Hello Labs.
No way. That's funny.
Yeah.
We just covered them yesterday. Yeah. So, it is something, it's a very simple thought process to take, but I think it matters in terms of understanding the chaos to come for price action. And you know what? Ripple, they're going to be fine. Ripple's going to be fine. At RLUSD, the stable coin's going to find specific use cases. It's going to find little pockets of use. It's just a question of how much tokenomic pressure can Ripple create for the XRP token is the real question at hand there. When you sit there and think about how high can a token go, there has to be that underlying need to use the token in a adopted ecosystem to get that juice. Now, on top of what I just talked about, the 401k floodgates opening, now we have the Bank of England cutting their interest rates down to 4%. This is released by BBC early morning hours. It coincided directly with the pump. And Isaac, I'm going to throw my computer through the wall. That scam pump got me out and is fighting this again. But that 4% interest rate was announced and we absolutely went ballistic. It was really, really nice to see us make a leg up. About a 1% move just in general in a very, very short amount of time, about 30, 45 minutes. Now we're fighting to prove this zone as support. And that good old, look at how basic this. You know what I've been saying to people for a really long time, Isaac, is you find entry points at the original pump 2 moments. At the original price exploration moment where you find a lot of sell pressure, it works on a trading scale of 15-minute candles as well. Look, you go to the 115.7, you drop down, create that buying pressure at the previous high, bounce up, come down, test that previous high. And honestly, it looks like we're trying to continue. This is absolutely insane. This is absolutely insane that we're trying to continue, but it is what it is. I made a good amount of money on that trade. Thankfully, it was at 113.6. And you know what? I'm not going to FOMO in because I'm going to sharpen my tools and we're going to find the next entry point as well. And we're going to print on the next one as well. And if you're out there trading, I got some chaotic news. And I love covering these just to keep things in context. A whale flipped bearish after closing long positions on Ethereum and Solana at a loss. So he flipped bearish because his long thesis wasn't playing out. 5 hours ago, this is early morning hours, I pulled this. He closed his longs. Take a $5.3 million loss on the Ethereum long and a $3.7 million loss on Solana, and then open short positions. This did not end well. And I don't have the updated details on how much money was lost in this trade. Trust your gut. Okay. I want to say this to reemphasize, trust your gut. Do your own research, do your due diligence, and have your own bellwether for where this market's. Don't just, flop and grope to wherever everyone on X is telling you to go. Please, for the love of God, use your own judgment, your own gut intuition. That stuff matters, man. I think a lot of people doubt themselves. And if you just stay true to your conviction, whatever it is, I think you're going to be just fine. Now, I am being enticed here, Isaac. They're taking father-son bonding to a whole new level at ICE, the U.S. government. Okay. Now, there is no age cap. Join ICE now. There is no age cap on ICE. And when I go here, there's some incentives. There's a $50,000 signing bonus.
I'm going tomorrow.
What are you doing? You gotta
go. I quit. I'm going tomorrow. I'm signing up. Go join ICE and kick these illegals out of my fucking country. Excuse my language. Parents, cover your children's ears.
You know, I think this is going to be pretty good for incentivizing people to go in. I mean, they're giving a $50,000 signing bonus, no age cap, student loans repaid up to $60,000 and 25% premium pay. You can't beat that with a stick. You can't beat that with a stick. So shout out to
can you read? No age cap.
Yeah, there's no age cap, man. Because that's how I felt. I was like, you know, my knees are kind of bad, and I'm not as limber as I used to be. You know, there is no lie there. So just Philip's going. Vet's going in. See, I'm telling you. They're going to get some people here. Now, all right, back to business here. Hong Kong asset manager Trivest Advisors disclosed owning $90 million of BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF shares. Bitcoin ETF movements looking pretty good. We'll refresh this to make sure we get the updated information. The daily net flow information we have as of August 6th. So the end of yesterday, there was a net inflow of $91.5 million on the Bitcoin ETFs. So it's nice to see the movement start moving back into the net positive for Bitcoin ETFs. I like seeing this, you know, and in this market, like there's so much, it's about gaining more than you lose in a bull market in terms of price action, because you always come back down, flush down and reset. And it's okay to kind of change your thesis of where the market is going, given new information. I think that being able to make a decision about bias against the market being bullish or bearish changing is a very strong power for someone to have in this environment. Now, this is great words from Follis. Surest way to tell someone has no idea how trading works is that they goof on someone or clown on them for flipping that bias from bearish to bullish or vice versa. Imagine changing your read on the market based on new information, you know, like a trader, right? Wouldn't be that crazy. There are 3 types of accounts on the X app: perma bears, perma bulls, and those who actually make money. I absolutely loved this comment. Huge shout out to Follis. He's hardworking technical analysis chart technician out there, putting his skin in the game. And you know what? When you're doing this, you want a more often right than wrong level of calling the markets. No one's going to call the markets perfectly. If you did, you would be a singtuple. You would have trillions of dollars, right? If you're able to call the markets perfectly, you want to be more right than wrong. And if you are more right than wrong on the markets, and you start being like, man, I could start getting into some trading, start with a very low amount of money. Start with a amount of money that you're willing to literally light on fire for the value of learning from, right? And that is how I tell anyone that wants to get started trading, is to just go in there with the amount of money that you're willing to learn with. It took me 3, maybe 3.5 years of psychopathic levels of obsession to be able to start to get into the groove. So just keep that in mind. If you are, you know, wanting to get involved and start getting to that level, because the goal that I have is not only to have a successful YouTube channel and to lift many, many people up out of inflationary pressures that are caused by the government's printing our dollar into zero. I want to lift people up from that situation, but I also would like to get to the level where I am literally just working as a trader, right? Right now, I clear my account out every time it hits 10K. I want to get that level up to 100K, clear it down to 50, then 500, clear it down to 250, and just keep chunking upwards from there. It's been a long time learning. It's been working really great, and it's kept me quite active in terms of increasing portfolio value, while the last few months have left a lot to be desired on altcoin upside, right? There's been kind of a lull. Things are, starting to pick up. That's a good question. Drew, who's the best trader that you learned from? I'd say Frankie Candles. Used to work next to him and with him for quite some time, and we still hang out. I see him every now and again. Frankie has a much better ability for having both short and longs at the same time running actively, which I think is very, very impressive to be able to do. And a lot of profits within those. So yeah, I like Frankie. Other than that, I think Josh is doing a good job. Josh is actually, he's really got a windshield wiper method, which is different than Frankie or myself. But I like looking at what Josh is doing. It gives me further confidence. And then DZ seems to be incredible at trading very small market cap coins on high leverage within a day. Just kill the trades before the weekend starts, man. Once the Chinese get a hold of that chart, man, things change quickly. Now, let's go back into the stories here. I had this Vice President Vance talking about Bitcoin. Let's have a listen to what Vance is saying here.
And when it comes to crypto, I think the last several years have made it clear that we're talking about genuine, ground-up innovation, one that's already improving the well-being of tens of millions of our fellow citizens. I believe it's 50 million Americans own Bitcoin, and I believe that's going to be 100 million before too long.
Now, obviously, he's speaking at a marathon, sponsored event. So he's going to be bullish on Bitcoin. But I think seeing the vice president of the biggest economy on the planet talking this bullish about Bitcoin has a lot of weight to it, regardless of, if it's a short-term view, whatever, because the strategic reserve, it's kind of a big undertaking for the United States, the Treasury, and the Federal Reserve to all come to terms with the fact that they're going to have a federally backed Bitcoin currency, right? And now they're trying to do this in a budget neutral way. They're trying to do this in a way where they don't add a massive amount of debt to the already, currently out of control debt levels, right? Like 37 trillion in debt. So the Fed's latest report is now exploring using the proceeds from valuation gains on gold reserves. Okay. I'm going to repeat what I just said back, because this is a very, very important thing to pay attention to. They're exploring proceeds from valuation gains. Valuation gains means that they're going to change the valuation that they currently have on the books for gold per ounce from $42, which is where it's left at since the 1970s, up to where gold currently sits at $3,600 or $3,400 an ounce. So on the books, things look, if Fort Knox has the gold that they say they do, on the books, it's about $10 billion, I believe, right around $10 billion. If they revalue it at the $3,400 per ounce mark, that brings the valuation of that gold reserve up to $880 billion. Quite a big difference. If the gold, and that is a big if, Laserface, absolutely. If the gold reserves are actually there, they could do the revaluation and realize those gains on paper of gold going from 42 an ounce to $3,400 an ounce, and then use some of those proceeds of what's new on the balance sheet to go towards the U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, right? And it's proposed by Cynthia Loomis, Senator Loomis. This is Bill S-4912, Bitcoin Reserve Act, and it is a laddering in to U.S. government buying and holding of Bitcoin to back the currency. Pat McCrotch, you're going to get me, you know what? You're going to get me too fired up, man. You're going to get me too fired up. So seeing a revaluation potential, I would like to see that the gold's actually there. If we could actually get an audit, that's probably never going to happen. And if they never reevaluate the gold and take advantage, realize the gains on paper of gold's increase in value, it will further lead me to believe that there simply is no gold in Fort Knox. So, hopeful that it's there. Oh, my dog attacked me. Look at, is that even, no, that's paint. It's like a tiny piece of teal paint. My wife always chooses terracotta or teal to paint our houses in every single time. Isaac,
Yep.
if you've been living in a terracotta, do you know what terracotta is?
Unfortunately.
Okay. So if you've had to live in a terracotta or teal environment for the last, say, 8 years, what color
I
are you
have.
going with? Okay. You have?
I have. My mother loves teal, all that stuff. So I've been stuck in it for quite some time, so I know what you're like.
All right. So this is
thinking
a
right
very
now.
relevant question for you.
Yeah.
So which color are you going with? Because I'm feeling, I like green, you know, I liked green. It's kind of on my mind because if you can't tell, I'm gonna paint the next house. I'm gonna paint the current house too. I'm thinking
Anything
green.
other than teal. All right.
And anything other
Anything
than
other
teal.
than blue. Anything on the blue scale can get out of here because
I'm sorry to get us so derailed. It just I had to talk about it. Let's talk about crypto again. Binance is now going to let European users convert their crypto to fiat and withdraw directly to MasterCard with near instant access. More direct rails to have off ramps to take advantage of profits, which I do like. And it is something noteworthy that European users, under the MiCA regulations, are now going to be able to work with Binance and MasterCard to get their crypto into fiat if they want to realize some profits, which, it's nice to have an exit. I mean, things are looking very uppity, and I say that with all the love in my heart. They're looking very uppity. But this is kind of a good summation of things. So we have 401ks, a $12.5 trillion amount of market capital that is now getting access to crypto. We have the vice president of the United States outwardly, maximally bullish on Bitcoin. We also have Fed rate cuts happening to U.S. allies, which is going to in turn fade to what we see in federal rate cuts for the U.S. over the next 3 FOMCs. A very bullish outlook for altcoins for the rest of the year and Bitcoin. Now we have Brazil prepping a $15 billion allocation into Bitcoin. BlackRock dumping $292 million into Coinbase Prime, and Japan's largest bank filing for both Bitcoin and XRP ETFs. Absolute insanity is building out. So this is the amount of bullishness that I'm having to go through on my computer. And as you can tell, it's a lot. Now we get to talk about my favorite altcoin and Bitcoin reserves that just got released, or Chainlink reserves, rather. Even better. Chainlink has officially launched Chainlink Reserve, an economic upgrade that creates a strategic link reserve funded by on-chain and off-chain revenue, CCIP and off-chain. The institutional adoption, moving into that protocol revenue, link purchases by their actual fund, and turning it into a reserve. Very, very good to see. And this is just to highlight, their Chainlink is a data-focused oracle, and they are being positioned to actually provide that data for U.S. equity markets and ETFs on the background. On top of all of this stupid bullish news that we have coming out, and I went over the whole kit and caboodle in this video here. This video has it all. I do want to, I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna get you guys a link. I'm gonna pin it because I'm serious, man. This thing, I try to explain it as concisely as I can, but this is really most of my thought process on Chainlink kind of consolidated there. But I'm a utility focused investor, and if you watch this video, you start to understand what's going to happen November 22nd, and you're still bearish on potential upside for Chainlink, for Ondo, for real world assets. I just don't know what to tell you. Ondo Finance is highlighting it, and they responded to Chainlink's, just the beginning post on traditional versus tokenized stocks markets at that $125 trillion level. A little bit of money there. Just the beginning, though. Ondo reposted this. You got 1.4 billion in Ondo TVL, 7 billion current tokenized T-bill markets, 28 trillion in total treasuries, 29 trillion in total US GDP, and a $62 trillion US stock market. There's a little bit of money to go out there and get involved with. Money is literally infinite. If you focus on the biggest industries that are about to go ballistic, you make sure that your dollar isn't being inflated to zero by the Federal Reserve, and you stay positioned with conviction in disruptive asset classes. This is literally the next 10 years, a time to change your bloodline's wealth forever. I'm telling you, what's coming, the New Deal of America, AI infrastructure rollout, power infrastructure upgrades, the implementation of crypto in aggregate, it's going to get ballistic. You know, these listings are bullish. We're not even seeing the real proof in the pudding yet. Ondo just got listed on Robinhood for trading. This is very, very good for Ondo. And Floki. Honestly, very, very good for Floki. Longing Link with a 355% profit. My man. My man. Absolutely crazy trade there. Good job, man. And where is Chainlink going? Diminished expectations for Chainlink price at $100 a token. Now, if what happens on November 22nd with Swift and Chainlink, and you got to go watch the video to get what I'm talking about, but if 1% of what's going down on the 22nd of November 2025 happens through CCIP Chainlink, it brings the price of the token to $385 just from the pressure of using Chainlink tokens to pay for CCIP to move money from Web 2, Web 3, or vice versa. So that gives you a scope of how big things could actually get for Chainlink in the long run, but they are plugging in to an existing infrastructure that wants involvement with that middleman fee structure. So it's almost too good to be true. But if 1% of what's supposed to happen with Swift actually does happen, that's $385 a unit for Chainlink. So there's that. And I'm willing to take a bet and to speculate on that going into place. Now, if I get extra lucky and 5% of Swift transactions end up going through CCIP, that's $2,000 a token just for using the data stream going back and forth and paying for CCIP in Chainlink. Okay. That is how the pressure of utility tokens can actually expand. Right now, what we see is partnerships and potentials, but if actual implementation comes where Swift, World Banks all integrate, ISO 20022 goes into place, then yes, things go bonkers. Now, me personally, I've been investing in Chainlink for long enough where I'm going to be very, very well set up in $100 Chainlink. Like, I'm going to be great. It is in, you know what, Chainlink, it's got a special spot in my heart. It's got a special spot in my heart. Oh no, ICE is saying age cap is at 37. Isaac, I'm screwed, man.
I'm not.
Dude, why do they keep
I'm
doing
going to
this
work for
me?
ICE today. Today. You can't stop me anymore, man.
Well, wait a minute. I wonder if it's you're 37, you're not allowed, or if you're 37, this is like the
37.
last year.
I'm pretty sure 37 is the last year. After 37, it's like you get cut off. I think that's how it is for the military too.
Okay. All right, now let's move on to Ethereum. Damn, I just turned 38. Transactions on Ethereum hit a 1-year high. So this is good seeing transaction volume pick up on ETH. ETH is still knocking hard on the door of this downward trend line. If we break this, go to 3,900. It's a quick ride to $4,000 Ethereum there. So that's true. You aren't going anywhere, Isaac. They got you. Let's see here.
Hell yeah. I'm so glad.
Yeah. It's you know what? God bless you. You're going out there to do some hard work. You know, you're going out there to do some hard work. So Ethereum's making me feel good. Altcoins are making me feel good. I'm seeing altcoin inflows into Binance. They're hitting 18-month highs right now. So we're seeing Binance in the shaded purple portion of it. Bitcoin price in the gray line here. This is excluding all other exchanges. A lot of altcoin inflows, a lot of transactions increasing for altcoins on Binance, which is a great canary in the coal mine of the chaos to come. You know, it's kind of a weird time where I know Bitcoin is truly here to stay. The ecosystem of crypto, there's going to be winners picked out of this top 100. There's a couple projects within this top 100 that are going to be the next Google. They're going to be the next Apple. It's about knowing which one to pick. I am tirelessly researching, but you still will have moments, and I still have them all the time, where I missed that or I missed that. And even if I do call it and it's a good one, I don't want to get over invested too thin, because I'm 99% allocated. So there's no lie that I'm over invested, I guess some would say. But I don't want to get spread too thin because I want the winners to really, really, really hit. So, just some context, man, like what we're seeing with Paul Atkins talking about tokenizing the entire US market. Now, all this insane amount of bullishness that I was able to cover in the beginning of the show, and the fear and greed is literally neutral right now. Isaac, they are stone faced. No one's excited about it. And that means we got higher to go, baby. That means we got higher to go. That is really what it is. So I want to go check out how the watch list is doing as well. Now that I'm talking about all the different altcoins, Chainlink still, $18 going to be. I don't think $18 is that sticky of a scenario. What I really want to see for Chainlink in the shorter term, TA wise, is holding where we are for a day or two. I really, really think that holding this level of over or at 1780, this is kind of like that hardcore resistance we found in a larger W pattern that's recently been formed. Chainlink absolutely zooming though right now. So where I'm at with Chainlink is that, I know that it's probably one of the better asymmetric bets in altcoins. My bags are packed, and now I track it for any good kind of entry points. And I did actually add in the I think the first portion of this at about $13. Added just a little bit. Like I hadn't bought Chainlink since the $5 dip in September of 23. So it's been quite some time here. It's been a long ass time, actually. God, look at that gap in price. What a collapse that was. I don't get this chance though. $5 Chainlink is short-lived, man. So my bags are packed on it. I think that in general, when I feel like selling Chainlink is really going to depend on how Chainlink to Bitcoin pairing looks. I might have covered this quite a bit, but I think pairing charts matter a lot. I think Bitcoin dominance matters a lot. In terms of alts, we're showing some good strength here, even with positive Bitcoin inflows and ETFs. We see a downtick in Bitcoin dominance on the larger market. Now, so far this week, we've only shaved off, I think, about 1.3%. Yeah, about 1.4% on Bitcoin so far on Bitcoin dominance. What I would like to see is for us to finish this week out down in the 60%, maybe 60.2% range on dominance, and kind of start that cascade. I want us to break this support and start heading to the downside on Bitcoin dominance while the price of Bitcoin continues to move back up. Let's go check out the Bitcoin heat map. Someone's bringing it up, and you know what? A pretty good idea. Let's go check out where the liquidity lives. Check it out. Dead downside. Downside. A lot of late longs in here. Not much food to the upside. This is 12-hour on Binance. Dimity zoom. Dimity zoom. What do I call this? Like the three-headed Hydra.
Three-headed Hydra.
Yeah. This is like the three-headed Hydra of resistance in our shorter time frame here. So, yeah, it does look like liquidity is below us in the shorter term. Longer term, though, when you really back up the truck here, there is quite a few shorts on the larger time frame that could find great demise over the next month here. This is on the 2-week, and you see, I mean, there is hundreds of millions, if not, there's billions of dollars in liquidity to grab. If Bitcoin goes to $120,000 again, there's billions that will be grabbed by exchanges. You know what? I kind of lean towards they're going to get it, unless these shorts
Probably will.
run away early. That's the only way to kind of escape that fate there. But if you're scalp shorting, it makes sense for me. Like, I jumped in and out of a SWE scalp short and made like $700 in like through a minute. It was in and out action. China's is straight up in and out. I mean, DZ just did the symbol for me. It was really good. China's exploring launching its first stablecoin, internationalizing the renminbi, and competing with dollar dominance. Dollar is going to continue to be the U.S.'s biggest export. Sorry to say it, It's Crypto Stevo bringing up a deep pick that he's been looking at here. I know I've looked at this before. This Mind Network, FHE, very low market cap. It is the homomorphic blockchain. Isn't that what it was?
Yeah.
Homomorphic blockchain. He's tagging you in it for some reason.
He always tags me in these things.
I don't know where this is going. Homomorphic. Man, let's go check out FHE.
Where is he? I want to ban him.
This is Mind Network. It's up 15% on the day. 27% on the week. You haven't missed much on the monthly though. It's just really digging itself, doubling up out of the cavern that it fell into. This is a micro cap, $18 million market cap. Pretty new. Honestly, this thing's pretty new. What's that?
For a new project at this level of market cap, it's not a bad chart though.
It's not, right?
And you had that little dip down towards what in the July area.
Yeah, I mean that was that's an initial release price too. It's about 49 cents, and the data or 4.9 cents rather. So it came down and proved that as support. So kind of an interesting thing to see in terms of price action. I don't even remember. I remember we looked at this thing. Yeah, fully homomorphic encryption, whatever the hell that means.
Yep. Yeah.
I feel like we need to invest in this just because,
just based off of the fact that it has homo in the name of it.
Yeah, it's homomorphic.
Watch. I'm gonna pull up what homomorphic really means so it can stop being gay.
It's backed by Chainlink, Hashkey, Binance, and Namoka.
Interesting.
Enabling computation and encrypted data, preserving privacy, yada yada yada. Holy grail of cryptography, natively built on lattice cryptography, approved by the National Institute of Science and Technology in 2024 as a primary post-quantum encryption standard. Okay. You got kind of a cool little angle there.
Exactly.
Post-quantum encryption. All right. They make it sound like quantum computing is the apocalypse. And here's the deal. If quantum computing can crack encryption, then our nuke codes aren't secure. Then our water infrastructure is not secure. Then our banking infrastructure is not secure. And really the system at large is basically going to collapse or blow up if bad actors built a quantum computer that could break encryption worldwide. So you're going to have other problems outside of like your crypto bags, but speculating on post-quantum existence, kind of fun. And this will apparently enable secure private decision-making, allowing AI models to reach an agreement on encrypted data without revealing the underlying information. So it's got some things going for it. FHE, all right. I can kind of get it. The first time I looked at this, I agree with you. Quantum computing equals Y2K 2.0, 100%. Being able to speculate on a post-quantum world with a crypto project that can, work on securing the data, even if it is vaporware that is never used, people are going to speculate on that. I could see that happening. And that's what it is. We're in, there's a degree of utility sprinkled into a whole hell of a lot of speculation on altcoins, right? What would you dollar cost average into Ondo or Plume? The more recent buy I did was Plume. I got Plume for like, I think it's like 80, it was like 8.5, like 8.5 cents a piece. I think Plume is like 9 or 10 cents right now. It's barely even moved. Last buy on Ondo is around 70 cents, I think. Average buy on Ondo is about 40 cents. We're trying to tap on the door. If I already had both, I'd probably be DCAing a little bit more into Plume, which I do have both. I'm not buying either of them, right? I mean, I feel like buying Mammo right now. And I kind of feel like buying this FHE token. I'm not gonna lie, like I cover stuff all over the time, and this doesn't have to save humanity from quantum computing. I could just see people speculating on it. I could see people speculating on it. So, Isaac, you're not this old. Do you remember these? Did you ever get these where you could open a Pepsi and or a Coke and you would get a buy one, get one? You never got this?
No. That's cool though.
It is cool, man. We were kings. I don't know if anyone's this old. I mean, or maybe they're that old and they didn't play it. I never win. I never win in getting the free drinks. But I do win in crypto. So I go where I win. Now, speaking of winning, I'm not tired yet, Mr. President. CEO of Intel, highly conflicted and must resign immediately. These are words from Trump. There's no other solution to the problem. Thank you for your attention to the matter. So what the hell, Grok? Took to Truth Social demanding Intel CEO Lip Bhutan resign immediately, citing him as highly conflicted, yada, yada. Intel receiving U.S. subsidies. This amid the U.S.-China tech tensions. Shares dropped very, very aggressively. Intel dropped really, really hard. I was looking at it. Intel, if they continue to exist, this is a great buying opportunity. And I would wager that they're going to continue existing. So, FUD, headlines, feelings, all those aside, structurally, this looks like a buy point. I would just say that. And usually when companies get called out and targeted by Trump, then they have to, kind of back up, roll the boat back a little bit, get investments going back to the U.S. Trump has a pretty good history of forcing people's hands into it. Now, TST token saw basically a cataclysmic drop. I want to go see what TST token is trading at right now. The open interest dropped on it overnight by 35%. I don't know anything other than this chart looks like it's rugging people. So I'm going to go look at TST. What is this, test token? Is that what I'm dealing with here? One day. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Still in the lows. Ooh. Test. Okay. Oh, I want to bet. Renee, we should make a bet on if we've topped out or not.
Okay. Renee has said we're going to top out every day for like a week and a half. Every day topped out.
No, he's been doing it. He's been doing it a lot longer than that. Now,
since I've been back.
A broken clock is right twice a day, Isaac. So
you don't have to tell me that. Tell Renee that.
If you say it's the top every single day, eventually you're going to have that hill to dance, right? Eventually you're going to have that. No, Renee predates Steady Bug. And you know what? Shout out to Renee for the unmitigated gull of remaining bearish as price just grinds higher. Incredible.
Gotta love it. I love here on the Disco Basement.
Now, over the last 24 hours, just to recap on Trump's movements, he crashed out on India, increased the tariffs to a total of 50%, imposed additional 15% tariff on Japan, announced 100% tariff on semiconductors. There is some asterisks here, though. But if the semiconductor company or the organization produces in the U.S., they do away with the tariff. So he's driving some incentive to avoid 100% tariff by bringing the manufacturing back to the U.S. And he said pharmaceutical tariffs are going to be 250% coming soon. All four of these targets have a previous trade deal either teased or announced in 4 straight months from now. So we're seeing a little bit of stall out on trade negotiations, a little bit of heavy-handedness from Trump on the trade. And now he's narrowed his pick down on the Federal Reserve It looks like the 3 candidates, 2 of them are Kevin's. Likely going to be that Kevin Hassett fellow. Who's this? Kevin O'Leary? That would be a bomb. All right. Kevin O'Leary. Do you think he could do it as the Federal Reserve? Think he could pull it off?
Why not? You know what? We're already screwed up as a country. Let's just
this Kevin from The Office would be incredible, though.
That
I mean, good morning.
He is super funny.
I would like to see that. And now, on the infrastructure side, investment side, I'm bullish on tech, nuclear energy, AI. Apple is now announcing that they're going to make 100% of their Apple iPhone and watch screens in Kentucky. Like seeing some jobs come back. Some of the Rust Belt rekindled here in the United States. Workforce at Kentucky plant will also be increased by 50%. Apple is rapidly trying to move that manufacturing to the USA to avoid the impact of tariffs. Now, $600 billion of investment from Apple is probably going to be over a long-term amount of time. So it's not going to be, wow, they just dropped $500 billion in American infrastructure and we wake up to brand new offices for Apple and we're all working for Apple. It's going to be just a refocusing on American infrastructure, which you got to start somewhere. You got to start. You got to crawl before you can walk. This is kind of crazy too. I was talking on the arena. We have really great arena shows every morning. Me and Matt Malik, and he got delayed or actually canceled. They canceled 3 flights in a row. United Airlines halted all U.S. departures due to a nationwide system failure affecting aircraft load calculations. So, slight issue with their computer systems basically halted all travel, left him hanging. Isaac, what do you think? Is this flu season 2.0? We got CDC issuing a travel warning for people heading to China due to a mosquito-borne outbreak.
This is not just malaria, and they haven't figured out how to deal with it. This is malaria 2.0.
Would you fall? Like, all right, let's say they said, all right, everyone, remember 2020? You know the drill. Back in your houses. Stay in your house. We got 2 weeks to flatten the curve. What do? Are you staying inside? Or are you going to go breathe some air? Are you going to breathe air?
I'm going to breathe air. I'm not going to be confined to my room again for another 4 years of my life. Okay?
You were a flu baby.
Yep. No, I was a flu teen. All right. Don't ever call me a flu baby in my entire life. I'll get off the show and fight you. I was 13.
Yeah, but if I call your phone, bro, that voicemail is from your literal 12-year-old.
I was 9 when I made that voicemail. Okay, and
you need to change your voicemail.
I will change it. Okay, I just don't get to it. Anyways, back to this conversation. Enough about if I'm a baby or a grown adult. All right, I was 13 when 2020 came around and flu season came around. And if we go through this again, I probably will crash out on a larger scale than I crashed out last
time. Very professional way to put it. Very, very professional way to put it. And you know me, I'm always snooping for printing more money for myself. So now where we're at, we're in a resistance zone. This washout that we just had, honestly, it was not as juicy as the washout we needed to get out of the last resistance on Bitcoin. So let's see here. Money flows looking good on the 15. But let's go to larger time frames. Because I think, Isaac, you're going to get back in the trading game, I think. We're going to get you going again here. So, and this is important to note. I talked about this yesterday. The world cares less and less about trade war crash outs. And it's highlighted here. The pullbacks are less and less each trade crash out. The markets are starting to become a little bit more numb to these situations, which is great for our bags. I love this chat. People say we're not unhinged anymore on this channel. I beg to differ. I
also beg to differ. I'm so glad that we're so back. And yes, my pants are grown man pants. All right?
That's right, baby.
Leave me alone. I'll start cussing again.
Oh my God. Now, looks like, can you elaborate on Chainlink? Just got here. Yeah. So if you just got here, I don't want to go over everything. Go to Blockchain Basement and just go watch this video, man. This is outside of price action. I'm laying my heart on the line for you guys. My crazy connections that I've made between the Proof of Reserves Act through the integrations that Chainlink's built out of CCIP through Swift, the live date for ISO 20022, and the crypto report that the White House just released, all consolidated into a concise thought process for you to chew on right there at the Blockchain Basement on YouTube. Make sure to go give me some love there. Give me some love there. Isaac put his blood, sweat, and tears into that edit.
Did. That's
you know,
it's such a good video too, bro.
It is a good video.
I
man.
love AI. I love AI graphics. I love being my own graphics department. I love editing videos. So go ahead,
that's
like
the thing to think about.
Share it with your friends. Do all
right as we needed to like downsize big, company went through major changes. Right as that happened, AI imagery generation came out, and it's basically turned me and you into a graphics producing machine. Like, work that used to take half a day to complete now is 5 minutes, 3 minutes of thought and inputs. Let's pull up I wanted to look at this one because I was talking to TJ more and more about this project here. A0X. I decided to follow it. I'm going to turn notifications on for it. I feel like we're going to have another bubble up on AI agent realms. They're creating like clones. They're incubated by Base, and they're hiring aggressively. They're expanding. They're getting highlighted by Jesse Pollock. I don't even know what the chart looks like, but I can just tell. I can see some big names kind of popping their head in the door on this project. Go give it a follow. I would say go give it a follow. Go start tracking this one. We look for very low market cap base ecosystem plays, and this one is appearing to have those same sort of rumblings upon its release. So A0X, it's A0X bot on Twitter. Go give it a look. Go give it a look. I don't want to get, because it's so new in terms of price action. Like I can show the chart, doesn't mean much. It's the rollout, the people backing it, the timing of it, all seems to line up for some green upside for me. So, what are my thoughts on the Swell charts? Let's go look at Swell. I haven't looked at Swell in a while. Swell, it was on base, one of those small market caps. I believe it's been kind of sleepy. Oh yeah, no, that's been more than sleeping. That's been fever dreaming. Slightly higher low here on the recent pullback. Volume is down big though. This is concerning. Volume's down 51%. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Isaac. We also need to make Sack Nasty a mod.
I know, I'm working on that. He has to give me his URL.
Well, I got it before. I think I got it in my Discord. I'll get it to you.
Oh, well, I just dropped it in Discord, so I'll just go check that out.
Yeah, we're gonna get Sack Nasty a mod position. Well, I'm looking for an escape pump. If I'm in this thing, like I got in and out of it. I lost a little bit of money on it. I got out of it when I consolidated. It was like at the end of 2024 when we had that last pump. I consolidated a lot of stuff, and I think I was late on this one. I'm pretty sure I lost money on this. I don't hold it right now. If I was still holding it, I mean, I'm taking an escape pump at 2 cents. If I can see a double up on this thing, I'm putting that into things that have more hype and more volume behind them. I mean, I'm not seeing the volume that I need to see on it. So yeah, that's my thought on Swell Network. It's like, because it's on base, it had a lot of cool things going for it. I can't remember where I came across this thing. It's like restaking. Yeah. Restaking, proof of restaking. So, I mean, it's something that I want to see succeed. It doesn't have the biggest partnerships, as you can see. Oh, services, Redstone. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have like that massive hype going for it. But it is at extreme lows. Like even a resurgence pump, if you're getting into this thing fresh, you could probably find a 2x pretty easily out of it, just from all tides rising. Old holds though, man. I mean, you're taking advantage of an escape pump. You're probably taking a haircut and going after something more better positioned. So yeah, because if you're looking at it right now, like there's good upside. I can see a higher low being created recently from like these depths that it experienced. But yeah, if you bought this thing on release, you're down very heavily, very heavily. So, all right, now, we found his did we find his URL? Did we find Nasag Nasty's? No, that's Swag Nasty. That's Swag Nasty. Close enough.
At me like that.
All right, you guys, I'm gonna go hit the gym. I got another show coming up at 3. Isaac, it was an absolute pleasure having you on the show here today with me.
Always.
Like the shirt too. You keep
Thank
coming into the office with these awesome shirts, all Christ oriented. Nice jerseys. Nice jerseys. All right, you guys. I love and appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next episode. Be good. Peace.
We just wanted to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor, Arculus. They are a cold storage hardware wallet, helps you secure all of your digital assets for the future. Just tap this thing to the back of your phone and boom, you're in. We wouldn't be able to do this without them, but also wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, the Disco fam. You've supported us a lot over the years. If you want to support the channel now, just use the code DC20. It gets you 20% off this card. It's the #1 way you can support this channel going forward. Thank you for your support. We'll see you at the top.